Today's video, Test of Honor, Samurai Warband. Let's do it. Today we've got our second Test of Honor video for the channel here. The first one that'll appear in a link right above there. You can see me school Angry Tabletop Nerd, aka Holy Diver, in a game of this Test of Honor. But today we've got this Samurai Warband. We've got 8 figures here. We've got 18 cards. So I've painted the miniatures. Let's take a look at them, and then we'll go through the cards, see what's up. Here's the contents of the box. There's 8 figures in there. I painted them up pretty much exactly, or tried to duplicate, I should say, the examples on the box. I painted these 3 Yari guys here. These Ashigaru Yari guys. That means Yari means spear. And then I did the sort of commander guy here. I did the Jigen guy and the Yumi guy here. And then I did the sort of the more important samurai type guys here at the end. Paying a little bit more attention to them, I guess. Very good to paint, a lot of fun to paint, not so difficult, and it's an entry-level splurge, so it cost me about 6,500 yen-ish, which is about maybe 30 pounds, maybe 45 bucks US to get into the game. Josh, from Swords and Sake, also Crown of Command, he introduced this game to me, and it was a lot of fun. So we've got a game coming up here on Sunday, so I'm going to be taking these guys on the road. And I'm going to be battling him. So maybe I'll take some snaps, I guess. And there were some cards in the set as well. I'm really unfamiliar with the game, to be honest with you. I'm only playing it the one time. So it's going to be sort of a learning curve. And I expect to get my butt handed to me from Josh here on Sunday. So I'll take some snaps and maybe talk you through some of the equipment, some of the painting, I guess. And then we'll take a look at some of the cards. Let's check it out. Forgot I had to do this part. I've had a couple beers. It's Friday, and so if it gets a bit kind of weird or I'm rambling, I apologize. These are the first 3 guys that I did. These are the Ashigaru Yari guys. Yari means spear. Ashigaru just means like foot soldier guy. Yeah, I primed these guys black. I then went over, there's a lot of white on it. So the white, I basically based it all with sort of like a Space Wolf gray kind of color, French blue gray. And then I went over with white. That was kind of like the last thing, one of the last things I did. Actually, the last thing I did do was the banners. I did the green last on those banners there. The one guy does have a katana, as you can see on the obverse sort of picture there. Yeah, I need to get one of those 3-man sort of bases that they sell for like this game and Mortal Gods and what's the other one, Gangs of Rome. I think it would help out a lot. Next up, we have one of my projectile guys. This is the Yumi guy. Yumi means bow. Actually, there's a Japanese sport called Kyudo, which is where they do this Japanese archery kind of thing. We used to have a club at our school, and they would practice in the Budokan that we have at the school at the university there. And I always used to joke with them, like, oh, you should put an apple on that guy's head. But they, oh, no, dame, can't do that. A lot of fun to do this guy. He's a one-off guy. Support-wise, he's good for the game, if I remember correctly. And I basically painted him the same as the guys you just saw. The one thing I did do differently than the box is I painted his bow sort of like an ebony black as opposed to a wood color, just because I thought it looked a little bit cooler. And I didn't do the feathers on the arrows either, so I kind of just sort of left them black. But as a figure, it was a great little figure to do. The back banner things are all sort of, you have to put them in there on all of the guys who have them, and they fit pretty well. Here we have the musket guy. I think it's kind of like the old rogue trader sort of heavy weapon rules of like move or fire kind of thing. I remember loading does take an action. And this will all be clarified for me next Sunday. So I'm a total novice at this game. I just wanted to buy the 8 figures and get them on the table. Cool little figure, actually. He doesn't have a lot of equipment, but he has a lot of character. As you can see on the back here, I didn't turn him 100% because this is the one guy's back banner busted off. And I noticed when I was moving around with the figures there when I was taking the photos, that on the side that you can't see, I have some heavy-duty touch-ups that I got to do for this guy, big time. All right, just having a sip of Sapporo beer there. Here we go. We got this guy here. He's obviously in charge of the mob of other guys. He's got his katana drawn. He's got the chomonge haircut. He's not wearing a hat, so he's obviously in charge. He's got that rod of command. The black armor there I used lime green, which was the highlight color for the pants and on the banner there as the highlight color for the black armor to sort of tie it all together. I think maybe your brain will catch it a little bit better, you know, sort of like a subconscious thing where it blends it all together a lot more nicely. Here we have one of the actual sort of samurai guys, sort of the samurai class guys here. And I just followed the back of the box. He turned out really well. His face actually kind of reminds me of the guy I work with, and I didn't want to go too crazy with the blue highlights on the sort of black hakama he's got over his armor there. I also here you can see I did the bottom part of his sandal there to give it some kind of definition. Just sort of give you something to look at because playing it I'm probably going to be looking at this guy from the back, so just to know that I did it, those little small extra details to sort of make the miniature pop. It was a lot of fun to do this guy. And finally we come to the main guy. I don't have a name for this guy yet. I'm going to try and come up with one before we play on Sunday, but yeah, a lot of fun to paint this guy. He had the pink sort of shirt there. And he was a little bit more colorful, a little bit more challenging. I took the red up with a lot of yellow and orange, and to make him stand out. But again, just copying the back of the box. So we'll see how this game goes coming up on the weekend. I'm looking forward to it. So it should be fun. So yeah, I've got some cards also that come with the game. Card play is also part of the game itself. Let's take a look at some of the cards that came with the set here. I got 18 cards. I don't know anything about this game other than I have to roll dice and kick Josh's ass. So first up, we've got some quest cards. This one is Declare Intent. At the start of the battle where you would normally take turns to deploy, reveal this quest before deployment. Place all your warriors first. Okay, so reinforcements will stay off the table. I don't think I'll have any reinforcements. I don't really have that many guys, but interesting nonetheless. Blood Feud. This sounds kind of cool. Reveal this quest at the start of the battle before deployment. Both heroes start the battle with a blood drop. Cut down the enemy hero. So blood drops, if I remember correctly, sort of as you get more of them, as you accumulate them, you sort of suffer some skill setbacks for your hero guys. So that'll be interesting. Maybe we'll get that one. I have no idea. Redemption. Reveal this quest at the start of the battle before deployment. Start the battle with 1 extra dishonor card. Oh, nobody wants that. Gain 3 honor cards and no further dishonor cards. Okay, I guess. I don't know how that's going to work. We got some kind of crumbs on there. Crumbs from England, from the packaging company. Very, very nice. A friendly character with at least 2 skill card is cut down. Grammatically, that sounds weird, doesn't it? For a friendly character with at least 2 skill card. Should it be skill cards? I don't know. Well, we'll see. I don't know. Josh might be able to explain this. Maybe it's written in Australian. I have no idea. Ignore the effect of 3 follow-up or move up bonuses rolled by your characters. Head taker. Okay, kind of cool. All right, so that's the quest cards. There's a few other here. Let's check them out. Apologies for the earlier section there with the cards. If you had OCD and I was off to the one side, I was reading the card not through the thing here, so through the iPad. So here we go. We've got a defense formation. Upgrade 1 group plus 1 dice on avoid rolls while there are 3 members of the group. So okay, that'd be kind of cool because I got those spirit guys, the Yachty guys. So this would actually be something that I could seems to be useful that I can kind of fathom in my inexperienced brain here. Target practice. Upgrade 1 group or 2 single followers. Okay, so that would be the arrow guy, the Yumi guy, or the Jigen guy, the rifle guy. When shooting, the warrior gains plus 1 dice on the test of wits to target an enemy that is not the nearest. So I do remember from the game I played against Diver, you kind of have to, it's just better, I think, or you have to aim for the kind of the closest guy. Maybe not. Maybe I'm, talking out of my ass. But that's these cards here. We've got a few more here. We'll just zip through them all here. We'll just real quick here. Okay, make sure everything's here. We go. Spirit of the Ancestors. Okay, cool. Hero only. Once per battle, if this warrior fails the test of honor to take an injury card, you may re-roll the result. The same bonus lost dice applied to the re-roll. Okay, all right, cool. I don't know what that means, but we'll find out. Once per battle, we have Death Poem. Oh boy, this would be great. When this warrior is cut down, take an honor card and turn all your honor cards face up. I would love to say a death poem to talk some kind of shit in Japanese to Josh when we're playing at the store here. Etiquette. Okay, oh boy, they're big on etiquette in this country. Let me tell you. Once per turn, when you draw a character action token, you may choose to pass it to your opponent as if you had no characters left to act. Okay, yeah, all right, that makes sense to me in my sort of foggy memories of 4 months ago. If you do this, you may turn... Pardon me. If you do this, you may turn the dishonor card face down. Okay, kind of cool. Right on. Family member, once per turn, +1 dice on strike rolls. Okay, obviously this is great. This bonus does not apply if there are no other friendly characters on the table. The next time a friendly character is cut down, take a dishonor card. In addition, this card can no longer be used. Okay, so it's a one-use array. Turn it sideways for the rest of the game. Okay, kind of cool. I'll make everybody in my family. Salute your enemy. Once per battle, this character pauses to bow and state his name and titles. This would be a great card because I would love to do this in the store. Take an honor card. The nearest enemy character must choose either to take a dishonor card or lose an action to take an honor card. Okay, all right, that sounds okay. Heavy armor. Okay, this is always I like this card already. Armored warriors only once per turn. When an enemy makes a damage roll against this warrior, he counts as having 1 less blood drop than he actually does. So that's good because that means that you're not going to be like losing your abilities as you get sliced and arrows and all kinds of gunshots and shit happening to you. Rich provisions. Once per battle, choose one of your warriors, then roll a d6. 1 to 2, remove 1 blood drop from the warrior. 3 to 4, remove all blood drops from the warrior. Oh, that's good. 5 to 6, the warrior immediately takes a free action. Okay, well, this is very positive. This is a good card to have. Mighty Blow. Okay, this sounds like Warhammer. Once per battle, during a melee attack, this character may choose to lose an action and to add 2 dice to his damage roll. Character can only do this if he has an action remaining. Declare you are using the skill before making the strike roll. And then we've got a bit of a crane there. Impetuous Tactics. Once per turn, when this warrior makes a melee damage roll, he gains +1 dice if there are no friendly warriors with cautious markers within 6 inches. Okay. Okay. All right. We'll see how that goes. We've got 2 other cards here. These are the last 2. One's white, one's black. So Pride of the Clan. This is the white card. Pride of the Clan. Honor. Once, then turn face down. Draw a skill card if possible. Give it to the character who acted with honor unless at maximum. If not, assign it to another character. And then the final card here we go. Shame of the fucking clan. Way to go, buddy. You blew it. Dishonor. Once, then turn face down. If possible, the character who acted dishonorably must discard a random skill card. If not, choose any of your characters to discard a random skill card. So this game is very card heavy. And luckily, when you buy the sets of miniatures and whatnot, and the game itself, you get a whole bunch of cards and all that kind of stuff. It also has special dice as well. I do not have the dice. I'm relying on Josh for everything this Sunday. But I'll probably buy him a beer or 2 at the store, and we'll have a good old time, and hopefully I'll be able to let you guys know how it went. Final shot of the gang here, all 8 miniatures. A lot of fun to paint. Looking forward to the game coming up here on Sunday. I've got to go up Prefecture. It's going to take me a couple hours to get up there, but it'll definitely be worth it. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Keep those brushes moving, and we will catch you in the next one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.